Hey, guess what? Guess what? Punk ass here. Cheeky Shenanigans. Favorite in memory of Jesse, aka Random Hero. I just got done doing an awesome podcast with Conant. He's a really funny stand-up comedian I've been following for a while now. It was really fun talking to him. I was nervous in the beginning, and I feel like we had a good flow. You know, it's still different for me doing this podcast thing by myself, but I think we hit it off, you know, like no homo or anything. So we talked about a bunch of shit. We talked about like stories and of his bits and like what was like truth and what he had to embellish. We talked about drugs back in our drug days. That was good. I asked him, as per usual, the most embarrassing sex story you had. So please check this one out. He's a really awesome guy. He's got some cool stuff going on. He's doing a little touring. You can watch one of his shows I bought a ticket to on Zoom. That's going to be interesting to see. His buddy did like an app thing. So please check out this episode, and you're about to check it out right now.
I look like shit, dude. That's right. Yeah. Are we rolling? Did we start?
Yeah, I hit the record button, bro.
Oh, shit.
I wrote down some questions because I've been a fan of yours for a while now, you know?
Thanks, dude.
So I kind of went back through, you know, Google and your YouTube, and I watched your old episode of The Next on MTV, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, I mean, it pretty much answers this question already since your girlfriend was there, but I was going to ask you, are you still a self-proclaimed chubby chaser? Like I said on The Next, you know?
Actually, well, the funny thing is MTV, although I don't care. I like all shapes and sizes, but MTV made that up.
Did they really?
Yeah, they just, when it came out, it was just funny. Me and my sisters were watching it. We're just like, what? I don't discriminate, but that's not a thing. That's MTV just beefing it up for Hollywood, you know.
How did you get into that episode or anything? I remember watching it as a kid because I don't remember what year it came out.
I was if I sit back this far away, can you still hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay. I was handing out gum at Long Beach State University.
All right.
As a watermelon. I didn't even go to college there. I was a promotional spokesmodel. And my sister, we had these cool jobs where we just got paid back then, like really good money to hand out samples, just gum.
Right.
So I'm dressed in a watermelon suit. And I mean, it's like, imagine like bananas in pajamas, like just my head sticking out, just my face of a giant watermelon, and then my hands with little white gloves. And I'm handing out watermelon Wrigley's gum. It was a new item. And then MTV was there scouting or whatever, and they're like, yo, you look like a jackass. Would you like to be on our show? They didn't say that, but you know. And I was like, hell yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then I went down and auditioned, and then I was a weirdo. They like weirdos. I'll never forget. That was when I was like 20. Excuse me. It's very loud.
Yeah, it did say when you were 20.
Yeah, so I saw Cameron Diaz. So that as a 20-year-old, before I ever touched stand-up or went to Hollywood, I was like, oh my God, Cameron Diaz at MTV.
No way.
And it was like now it sounds silly, but I don't really give a shit anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
It's weird though how that changes when you're a kid. You're like, what?
Yeah, totally. Well, yeah, since you brought that up, when did you decide to do stand-up?
It sounds like a cliche, but it's just kind of in you, man. I had always had it. I was always a class clown and a joker, right. And I waited for that perfect moment for pranks or farts or just to sneak a joke in and get a laugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm killing a mosquito. I've been getting eaten up.
Is there a lot out there?
No, not at all. I got one, and it's terrorizing me.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, I remember when I was little, just waiting for that moment to crack a joke, just for that perfect moment of. I mean, this is an old reference. I don't know if you'll remember it, but when I was a kid, there was those Tootsie Pop commercials, you know, and we had a
Yeah.
substitute teacher, and I must have been about 10 or 11. And the substitute teacher wrote his name on the chalkboard, and it was Mr. Owl. And then I just sat there and I patiently waited with my hand in the air.
Right.
He called on me, and I go, Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take
Oh
to
shit.
get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And the whole class erupted. And that piece of shit ratted on me, and I ended up getting detention. I was like, hey, that was a good one, dude. Come on.
Yeah. No.
But that was like, anyways, like I looked up to Conan O'Brien, and I wanted to do that. And then I remember Mitch Hedberg in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's you know, it's scarier and all hell. So it took years and years and years. And then finally I got arrested for the firecracker horse assaulting thing.
Yeah.
And then I was a loser. I was on drugs. I lived with my mom, and I was just like, fuck.
Hey, I've been there, dude. Same thing.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, I'm so sick of this lifestyle. So I said, I'm going to get sober. I'm going to get into stand up.
Yeah.
And everything's a process. So it took a couple of years, but I got sober and I got into stand up.
Did your, the first like real set you did you bomb, or were you like nervous?
Dude, I actually fucking ripped it, bro.
Did you really?
That's how, okay. I think God like just said, like, just give it to him. I was so thin skinned and sensitive and scared to stand up that I got an applaud break. I mean, it was new and they knew it was new. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, like those other kids that did bomb, you know, I did very, very well. I got a lot of laughs and I got an applaud break. And then I still was so scared I didn't touch a microphone for like 6 months.
Oh, really?
I felt sensitive and scared and just.
Well, that's the boat I'm in, right? Because I'm like you. I was always the class clown, and I love making people laugh. And I was always into watching comedians and listening to them. So, you know, me and my buddy's done like stand-up sets, and he's like, dude, you should do it. And I wrote some stuff down. I'm like, shit, man. I'm just like stage fright. I don't know yet. I even bought this stupid mastering stand-up book, you know, to help give you notes and shit.
Whatever helps, man.
Yeah.
I bought that book too, a different
Did you?
one. I only read 2 pages out of it, but
right.
It's the kind of guy I still bought it. Hey, but I mean, I know everybody says this, and this also sounds like a cliche, but there's nothing you just got to get on stage, dude.
Well, yeah. Then
not right now.
I listen to podcasts, you know, and there's like some comedians that say, oh, well, you know, if you can't just get up there and do it, then it's not for you. And I'm like, well, is that true? Is it? I don't know, you know?
No, that's not true. Because whatever your lane is, I mean, look at Judd Apatow. He started as a stand-up, quit stand-up, and became one of the most powerful comedy moguls in the game. You know what I mean? Like, There's producer, there's director, there's writer, there's so many different lanes. Like, don't, you know, because if you stink at stand-up, you could go on to become a brilliant producer or director or writer or all of the above. Like, there's always something, you know?
Yeah.
But as I took all sorts of classes, read 2 pages out of a 300-page book, and nothing taught me like
doing it.
You know, years of training is equal to 20 minutes on stage. It's just, you got to do it.
You're originally from, you know, California, right?
Yeah.
West Coast. So when you started doing it, did you just stay in like the LA, California area, or did you actually go tour different states and stuff in the beginning?
No, I wish, man. I'm blessed and cursed. LA is a great and horrible place to start out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're blessed because you're in the city, you know. You see Bill Burr and Joe Rogan and Sarah Silverman and Chris Rock and all, like, drop-ins. Well, but then you're competing against them.
Yeah, you do have the Comedy Store, right? That's like the main hub, I think, you know?
For sure, it is, yeah. And then it's like the Shark Tank. So good in that sense, like, you have to get good quick or you die. You just phase out. But it's awful because there's so many people and comics and artists and actors that are trying stand up and etc. that you're limited. Like, you have to fight for 3 minutes, you know.
Oh, really?
As opposed to all these other comics that came up in Denver and Chicago and or Arizona.
Yeah.
They got 6 clubs, 7 clubs, and there's a good scene, but it's just not as many people. they're like, yeah, I was decent, and that I got like feature sets right away. And I was like I didn't get
Really?
a feature set till I was like 6 years in, or 5 years in. I'm like, what?
What's
And
the
even
what's
what?
the biggest comedian you've toured with?
Dalia,
Is it Dalia?
Chris D'Elia, Bobby Lee, Michael Yo. Yeah, but I've never really been. I mean, as much as I love those guys and they help me out,
Yeah.
I never really toured with them. I'm always the once in a while kind of guy.
Oh, like if they're doing
Like each of them would take me twice a year, once or twice
awesome.
a year, which
All
is
right.
amazing, and I'm grateful and thankful for it, and it helped me, and I got paid,
Yeah.
but I've never been like, I've never actually like toured, like gone to every city all over, gone 40 weeks out of the year. My extended touring is like
To Utah.
6 to 12 weekends a year, with various different people, and now starting to headline on my own until this goddamn pandemic hit.
Dude, I know. I saw on your page that you're doing like a Zoom stand-up show, and I bought a ticket because I've been wanting to see one of your shows, right?
Man, that's how you're gonna see me.
Well, I live like north of Seattle, so
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
I would love to tour up there. I'm just trying to make it, and everyone's like, "Why don't you tour everywhere?" I'm like, "I want to."
I know.
Tell the clubs, man. Like, it ain't me.
Like I was supposed to go see Brendan Schwab in Spokane. He's coming at the end of the month, but the club was like, we're gonna have to close down because our governor's being a dick still. I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
So I get it, but I'm interested to see what your experience is gonna be doing like a virtual stand-up show instead of like a club,
Oh, it's gonna be awful.
Like, do you still get to see like our faces and shit, or?
I get to see some faces for sure. It's probably just going to be a gallery view of, I'm guessing, like a dozen people. And, this comedy club, from what I understand, I spoke to comics that have done it, like Ian Edwards and whatnot. And he said they do it as good as you possibly can do it. They watermark it, so if anybody records, you know who it is, and you could go after them, be like, "What are you doing? Don't record my set." As well as they got IT nerd guys like controlling people recording your shit, as well as hecklers. Anybody who's interrupting the show, they'll mute them immediately.
So people could talk if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I still haven't read the whole ordeal yet,
Well, if they do, you get muted and kicked out of the show, or I don't really know. I just know that these people are tech savvy and they're on it, because shutting down a heckler in real life is one thing. You can see them, you can address them, but like if it's just a stranger that's not even on the screen, like I don't even, you just.
Do you handle hecklers really well? I haven't seen much clips of you, doing crowd work or anything. So
I have and I have not.
Yeah.
No, I've never been destroyed by a heckler, but I have gotten super angry, and then I made myself look like a stupid asshole piece of shit by going 0 to 100, even though they started it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm pretty decent at it. I've had my battles with hecklers.
See, I don't think that's fair when you have somebody, trying to heckle you and then you get mad and then you look like the dick,
It's not fair, but it is a reality of the situation, so you need to handle it better.
Yeah.
I've learned that lesson real quick. Very, very early on. I was just like, "Shut the fuck up, asshole." And then everyone was like, "Whoa." I was like, "Oh yeah, I should have said some jokes."
Did you gain them back though? I mean, maybe. Yeah.
Probably. I've lost some audiences, but I'm a peaceful farting guy. I just smile at them and be like, sorry guys, and I could get them back.
So I'm pretty sure you get asked this a lot because it's, the whole farting on your manager at Trader Joe's, your whole bit. What was his initial reaction when you did it? You know what I mean?
So, the bit and reality are slightly different. I did fart on my manager.
Right.
And I did film it and I did post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
When the truth of the situation, the guy I farted on, he's my homie. I loved him. He loved me. He farted on me, I fart on him. We're buddies. I call him pussy face. He calls me asshole bitch or whatever.
Yeah.
But we were homies. We loved each other. And but my social media antics, that fart went a little bit viral. Then corporate saw it. Then they looked at my social media and they're like, "Oh my God, this guy's a wild jackass,
Oh no.
shaking sodas, doing this, doing that." And then my manager had to fire me, but he was the homie. Like he literally went to my show Saturday and fired me Tuesday. Like he was.
Dude,
We
that
were
had to be
buddies. We were
hard.
buddies.
That had to be hard for him, man. That's
Oh, it was, dude. He's almost crying. I'm almost crying, and I was like, dude, I know it's not you. Like, I know it's corporate. Do what you got to do. I'm not gonna rat you out and jeopardize your 100K job.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anyways.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I wrote it because I know, listening to comedy, I know sometimes, comedians will or have to embellish the story a little bit. You know what I mean? So I was writing this down. I'm like, I wonder if he embellished it or I asked you and, you told me,
Yeah, it's like 90% true. I mean, it did happen. It is out there. I did get fired. It was just corporate and not the exact manager.
All right. Yeah, my favorite bit you do, man, is the one where you have to drive your buddy's car,
Mushies, yeah.
And then you say mushies, then I'm like, dude, that's a really cool name for him. I've never heard that.
That is about 98% true.
Is it?
So the very end when we crashed into the cop car,
Yeah.
I made that part up.
Oh, you did?
I used to just end it with, "That's it," and then it didn't pop.
Yeah.
So I 100% I might have been on more drugs. I don't remember. I was just a drug addict. I was on for sure weed, pills, alcohol, shrooms. Now that's about it. I was on 4 drugs.
All at the same time?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. I partied, bro. I'm sober for a reason. And then the whole story is 100% true, dude. That I actually forgot some details. So when we were getting kicked out of the campsite by the fucking park ranger, the Smokey the Bear cop, as I called him, my buddy Adam Hoovery makes bongs. Like, dude, he's like Picasso, bro. The dude will make a bong look like a Air Jordan, look like a ship. He sells bongs for $10,000, $30,000, put 100 hours. Like, if you look up his Instagram, your mind will fucking blow. It's insane. Anyways, he was making bongs. That was early on in his career, and he made a sick, like 2-footer glass on glass bong.
Yeah.
And we were hitting it, and we put it down just like in the dirt. We put it like near a boulder so we wouldn't just knock it over,
Yeah.
So when we were getting kicked out by the park ranger, we're standing in front of it like dumb kids in high school, like hiding like weed from a teacher or something. We're just like, we're scooting like this, like that. And he didn't see it and he didn't find it. So we get kicked out. I have to drive stick shift in front of the cop that's literally on his radio calling for, state troopers or our highway patrol,
Mm-hmm.
And then, so as you know, the cops come and then they said that. We all had a different answer. What are you doing? Taking a nap, shit his pants. I'm sick, whatever. Everyone, and the guy just started laughing. He's like, all right, what's up, guys? And then we said, we got kicked out for drinking in there. And I don't want to do the bit again. It just feels so weird. But I didn't tell him about the fireworks and the hash and whatnot. And then he said, you can't be here and you can't drive home. And all of us were tripping and we're just like, what the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Exactly. He was actually being cool. And then he left. And then he fucking left. So when he left, me and my buddy Andrew, we stayed.
In the car or?
Just stayed. At the DUI rules in California, you got to take the keys out the ignition. It's in the bit, but it's true. You can't be in the car. You can't have the keys in the ignition. They have to be like a certain feet away. Otherwise, you get a DUI.
Yeah.
And then so my buddy Devin and Adam went back into the campsite when the cop left to go retrieve the bong. Now, I know that doesn't sound crazy, but they're on hallucinogens and are tipsy and been hassled by a park ranger and a police officer. And they sneak back in the dark. No flashlights, bro. You think we're fucking prepared? We didn't have shit. They're in the dark. they're crawling through woods and campsites. And then me and my other homie, we're still tripping, you know? So we go, okay, go ahead. And then we smoke more hash and we get more fucked up.
Yeah.
And then we forget about them because we're tripping, you know? And then they come back out of the bushes and they got the bong. And then we like thought it was like a bear or like a monster or you know, we were just like, oh, what the fuck's in the bushes? And they come out, we're like, oh my God, we forgot about you because we were on hallucinogens. I forgot to add that in the story, but it, you know,
yeah,
extra details I left out.
I mean, I've done mushrooms I don't know, maybe like a few times. So I mean, I'd be scared if there was some like bushes, noises and shit or something coming.
Dude, you don't even know. We thought it was a monster, and we're like, oh, it's our friends that went in there 20 minutes ago. You know, like not even like, but you just are fucking dumb when you're on that shit. You know.
Yeah, I know that shit. So when you're doing this the Zoom stand up you got going, do you have like new material you're gonna try out, or is it just...
Yeah, I have a bunch of new shit. I feel weird doing my old shit. I have maybe a half hour of newer stories and bits. I got my old stuff, of course. I feel weird performing old shit to a computer lens. I feel like I'm already a storyteller anyways. I feel like it's just more time to tell weird stories, and I got a lot of those. So
yeah, see, that's another thing too. You know, when I'm thinking about, you know, wanting to do stand up, I'm thinking, you know, I would rather go like the story route because I have a bunch of them, and then trying to figure out where to put in like punchlines instead of just coming up with like a straight, like, you know, quick joke every, you know, few minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it just I love it. It's my route I'm taking. There's no right or wrong answer. But if you have the stories, I mean, there's half the battle right there.
Yeah.
I just always figured, why am I going to try to write topical jokes about Uber and whatever when Bill Burr and Neil Brennan are doing it? You know what I mean? I'm not going to be as good as them. They're 25, 30-year veterans, been writing, you know, their take. Not that my take isn't valid, and there's lots of good up-and-comers that have very good jokes like that. I just know my lane. I was like, I'm a weirdo. I got weird stories. I know how to tell them. That's what I choose. And then no one can come up with, no one's going to have a driving on mushrooms bit like mine, because that happened to me. Every detail of it happened. You know what I mean? So if you come up with a new bit and I come up with a new bit, we have the same mindset. And if it's of like the mailman, we could come up with the same exact joke and we'll be like thief. But that'll never happen with a story about shark coming on you and your sister. You know what I mean? That's my story.
Do you believe that whole like ordeal with Joe Rogan and what's that guy's name?
Mencia.
Yeah, Mencia. You know, that video that came out where he was like, you know, saying he stole his jokes and other people's jokes. Did you?
Well, yeah, man. I mean, it's the proof is in the pudding, dude. There was dozens and dozens of comedians coming after Mencia.
Now, if I was Mencia, dude, I would be so embarrassed. You know what I mean? I would not want to come back.
You know, that I wasn't around at that time, but I know that Mencia is not popular at all amongst most comics because of that.
Oh,
he was known to do that, and he wasn't liked. And I'll never forget this. And I you know, Rogan said, someone asked him in an interview or on his podcast somewhere, but they said, weren't you worried? Because when that happened, Rogan got kicked out of the store. Rogan got dropped by his agency and manager.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
And Rogan got sided with Mencia. And they asked Rogan, like, were you ever worried? And he said, no, because I knew I was right. Like, I knew I was on the right side. Yeah. And that has helped me with more than just comedy, you know, like when you know you're doing the right thing, just time will tell, you know. Obviously the tide changed. Rogan just got $100 million from Spotify.
Dude, that's crazy. He's like fuck, dude, I keep forgetting names here.
Johnny Carson, Howard Stern.
That and the guy that's on Sirius Radio, the main guy.
Howard Stern. I just said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. He's like the Howard Stern of like podcast now. Yeah.
Yeah, he made it. He just like when you look at him and his career, you're just like, okay, you don't need Hollywood anymore.
No.
All his shit is internet. Even though he is clicked into the Hollywood world,
Yeah.
he doesn't need it, and he built his own empire.
Did you go on the Joe Rogan show?
No, I would love that very much.
Oh. I'm trying to think. I thought, were you on the Fighter?
I was on King and the Sting, the hoodie you're wearing.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Yeah. Dude, that's a fun show.
Speaking of storytellers, Theo is fucking the man at storytellers as well.
You know, since you're here, I listen to him and I listen to all his podcasts because I'm a big fan of his too. Is some shit he says, is it like bullshit? He'll be
I would imagine so, dude.
Because it's always like me and my buddy were like throwing a tennis ball and it hit him in the face and he died. You know, shit like that. I'm like, what? You know?
No, I know he's a weirdo. You know, my favorite kind of comics are always the weirdos and the storytellers, and he's one of my favorites to watch. I don't want to speak for him, but I have a gut feeling that a huge chunk is for sure true, but a huge chunk also is false.
I just love listening to him, dude.
Like that hamster bone shit. I'm like, what is happening? You know, I love it. But he's a fucking true weirdo, and I love watching him. All the comics love to watch Theo.
Do they?
Yeah, he's a comic. You're like, oh, let's go see what he's gonna say. You know,
tattooing hamsters.
Yeah, he's the shit, man. He's the man.
Have you since you've been like on lockdown, or you know, have you been watching like Amazon Prime or anything like that?
I mean, of course, yeah. Not, I mean, probably more Netflix, but.
Have you seen that Rebel Wilson show, The Last One Laughing, where where she has 10 Australian comics and they all come into this house. There's 10 of them and they have to be in there for 6 hours, and whoever laughs gets eliminated. So the whole point of the game is trying to make each other laugh without laughing, and then the last person standing wins $100,000. Oh,
that's fun. That reminds me of my childhood. Like, when you're not allowed to speak or giggle or laugh, or when you play that game with your sisters and cousins and shit. Yeah, so you have to try not to laugh, but still make other people laugh at the same time. So I wanted to ask you if it's easy for you, because I was trying to think and it was hard. If they did like an American show, like which 10 comedians would you want to see in a competition of trying to make each other laugh without them laughing, you know? I would lose. I'm just going to state that right now. I put you in mine. I put you in mine. Which 10 comics? Oh, there's too many, dude. But, you know. Because I was thinking it wouldn't be fair, I would think, to put in like Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? Kind of leave them out, you know. Okay, so up-and-comers? Yeah, maybe. Famous fucks, as I always call them. Well, I picked like Pete Davidson, Bobby Lee, Adam Ray, Theo, Chris, you know, Andrew Santino, you know, that type. Yeah. I'm going to do up and comers because the famous guys are already rich and have money and careers. Yeah, that's true. So let's see, 10 of my homies. Okay, Ron Taylor. Okay. For sure. Audrey Stewart, Derek Poston, Hassan Ahmad. Oh, I know Derek. I know, yeah. I know it's tough, huh? Nicole Amy Schreiber. I'm going to piss off a bunch of friends too. I'm just trying to think of people. Right. Thomas Dale, that crazy bastard. He's so funny. Is he? Yeah. Deborah DiGiovanni, even though she's a headliner and deserves just as much as Joe Rogan, she's just not super famous, but she is fucking, oh my God. If you don't know her name, she is a force of nature on that goddamn stage. I'll have to look her up. So good. I think there's 3 more. I think you got 3 more. Fucking. Well, I gotta include my stupid friends, Mark Hayes and Michael Lenoci. One more. Chappelle Lacey. Oh, I was just watching some of his clips today. Yeah, he's a good one. He's a good dude.
What's been going on with you lately? You got any are you gonna get married soon? Have any kids?
No, man.
What? You don't want no kids?
Dude, I mean, yeah, I do. Everyone thinks you're famous and rich and all this shit just because you have followers. I got a studio kitchen, no studio apartment, and no kitchen. I said that backwards. God damn it. I ain't got a fucking kitchen, dude. How you think I want to bring a kid into this world when I don't have a kitchen?
I remember, I think you were posting some shit on your Instagram. You were like redoing your bathroom or some shit.
I wasn't redoing it. I was washing my dishes in the bathtub. Oh, when I put the bidet in? I put a sink in.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
My apartment's so old that they had a hot water and cold water separate spouts. So this is 100% hot. This is 100% cold. Two different water spigots.
There's no medium.
Or faucets, whatever the fuck they're called. So I'm literally super hot, super cold. I was like, so all I did is I made one, like a normal of this 100-year century fucking faucet, not any, 65 faucet. And that's all I did. Because after 6 years, I was fucking sick of it. I was like, I'm tired of burning my nuts and freezing my nuts. Let me get warm water.
You put a fucking bidet in there, huh? Is that good? It looks good?
It was awesome, but it's the cheap one. It's cold water only. And let me tell you, that's cold. Cheap yeah, wow.
Shit, well, okay. But I know you're famous, right? Like you said, I
am not famous, but people think I am. Maybe I'm on my way to be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think you're known. I mean, you're famous, but we'll say like semi-famous. How about that? Is that good?
I appreciate you, brother. That is very kind.
But like saying on like a good weekend, if you don't mind me asking, like what's a good pay for like a good weekend of like 3 shows or something? Does it depend?
I'm not supposed to talk about that, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
If I do a weekend of 6 shows, I get 2 G's.
Do you?
Yeah. And that in the scheme of a comic is not good. No, 2 G's total, bro. Not
no.
6.
So you do six shows, right?
6 shows, and I get 2 G's.
Is that like 30-minute sets?
45 to an hour.
Oh shit! All right, yeah, shit.
Yeah, it's not good. Don't smile, bro. Anyways, I'm very happy for it, and I'll take a lot. I'll do all. I'll take it.
Yeah.
But you gotta you build up fame or just your name. It doesn't have to be. You just have to sell tickets. What is your name worth? That's the name of the game. Once you sell tickets, you make money. So you're pretty much poor until you're rich. Straight up. There's very little middle class.
I guess it hit you pretty hard then with all this COVID shit going on, huh?
Yeah, but I was already used to not making any money.
That's funny. I did write in here. Oh yeah, bro. I was like, hey, would you ever go back and work for Trader Joe's? Yeah.
No. I would kill myself before that day comes. I will hang myself.
Maybe Whole Foods is better.
No. They're worse. I will double hang myself.
Really?
No, I'll never kill myself. Those are just jokes. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to say that anymore. Everything's so fucking sensitive. Dude. No, I will never go back. It's done. This is it. It's do or die, baby.
Do or die?
Do or die. This is it. That's all my eggs are in one basket, homie. That's it.
I think you're going to make it, dude. You got the, like you say, people think you're on drugs because you have that look. Sometimes I get the same shit. You know what I mean? So I just think your comedy is like you don't tell bullshit comedy. Like you say, you write stories of your own, and sometimes I can relate to you in some ways. So that's why I think I had that I'm really into this guy, no homo. But
yeah. That's my shit, dude. Richard Pryor, he's on my wall right there. But he's the king or the OG of storytelling, and I love him and look up to him, and that's why I that's who I want to be like.
Yeah,
so good at it, and he was so important to comedy in this world. And it's just like him talking about smoking crack and lighting his face on fire, bro. Like, come on. As an A-list celebrity, putting it in his specials, like in the 70s, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Yeah. Like, I just love it. And it just, and you know, like, I love to share with the knuckleheads in this world, like, yes, I was a loser. Yes, I was on 5, 6, 7 drugs and lived with my mama and had no money, no
Oh,
job,
that had to
no
be
tags on my truck, nothing.
yeah.
But you know, when you're in that bullshit, you don't think you ever can get out, but you can get out. And I guess that's my goal, is to, because I never thought I was gonna make it out of that darkness. You know.
Yeah, I was the same way, man. I was like you said, you were like on to like a bunch of things. Mine was pills back in the day when the
Oh Jesus,
Oxycontin was
OxyContin, bro.
dude.
Remember 80s? Remember when they made
80 $80 a pill,
rub
dude?
the peel off like nothing. You just lick your thumb and rub the peel off.
I would suck it off.
I would just rub it off and I'd grate it up and I'd sniff it and inhale it and put it in my booty hole, all of it. I never shot up though, thank the Lord.
Yeah, I never did that either. It got to the point where, like you said, I had no money. I was like pawning shit. I had my car fucking repoed. I was really fucking down there, and I finally got out of it, man. It sucks. It sucks being there.
Yeah, my whole shit, and they need us, dude. You're sober now, or what's up?
Yeah. I've been sober since 2010.
Nice, dude. Yeah, they need us, bro. People need people like us to be like, yo, yes, I used to steal my grandma's pills and scratch my nuts with my sister's bristle brush.
Yeah.
So my nuts scabbed up. But now I'm doing what I love and I'm sober and my mom is proud of me and doesn't hate me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they need to know there's a way out, because when you're down there, you don't think there is. That's all there is.
I felt bad once because, you know, I was living with my parents, and my mom came into me once and she was like, you know, your dad fucking comes to check in on you while you're sleeping to see if you're still breathing. I'm like, fuck, dude, that makes you feel like shit.
Yeah, I know, dude. I remember taking like 26 Norcs and sleeping 18 hours and my mom shaking me to wake me up. And I'm just like, I was like, oh, that was a close one.
Yeah, that. And then like, just like meeting random people you don't know or going into someone's houses you don't know. It was crazy, dude.
Dude, the dark, deviant, seedy behavior that comes with narcotics is just, no, thank you.
That's the thing. So like I've done, you know, like mushrooms, I've done like coke and like weed. I never had like any problems or like a rush to keep doing it every day. It was like pills for some reason. I just wanted it and wanted it and wanted. Did you have like?
I loved all of them, but pills was my number one.
Yeah, was it?
Conant, Norcos, Vicodin, for sure, because it's just so easy. It's just like a tic tac.
Or fucking going in.
You could take one at church or at law school or in front of your mama or on stage. Like, it just looks like a mint.
Yeah,
it's just you're a domesticated, America-approved legal heroin addict is what you are. That's what you are. If you're popping oxys, you're a fucking heroin addict. It's just a lot easier for our nation to digest. I mean, it's like a little pill, man.
Tell you what, dude, I try extra hard if I had like a doctor's appointment or like a dentist appointment, dude, and be like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Number 10.
Oh yeah.
They could call bullshit so easy. Did you get him? You get him?
I got him! Yeah!
You fucking got him. Let's see. Oh fuck! I'm enjoying this podcast, dude. You're fun. You're fun to talk to.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Let's see. I don't know why I wrote this down, but I'm gonna fucking ask you anyways. I don't know. I was coming up with weird shit. So, if Michael Jackson was still alive and decided to run for presidency, would you vote for him?
I don't know, man. That music's pretty good.
It is pretty. You know, I was thinking of. I don't know if it'd be too soon, because like I always try to think of like, you know, like joke ideas and shit. I've been waiting to see if a comedian would write a joke about if Michael Jackson was still alive, would he be with like the Black Lives Matter or the All Lives Matter? You know what I mean? Because he used to be black, now he's white. I don't know. I thought it'd be a good idea, you know, but I don't know if it's too soon, you know.
Yeah, you keep writing that.
Yeah. How was it crazy down there during the protest and stuff?
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, it was chaos for like 1 or 2 days.
Mhm.
After that, it was pretty peaceful protest every day.
Yeah.
Um, I
Were you
went a bunch. I don't know how much, maybe 6, 7, 8 times. I definitely was at a crazy one. That shit was gnarly.
were you like nervous at all? Fucking being
Oh
there?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was front row, and they were firing rubber bullets, and cop cars were on fire, and I was just like, oh my god.
Oh, there's got to be a fucking good story out of that, huh? You got
Yeah, it was all on my Insta stories. I guess I should chop it up and put it out there. But I posted a cop car on fire. A couple
Oh,
of
yeah.
them.
I think I did see that one. Was that down
Yeah,
like in Hollywood Boulevard or was it?
that one was on Fairfax, the Fairfax riots. It was all
Oh,
weird, man. I've talked about it before. I mean, just everything was super weird. Like everyone was like, fuck the protesters, but the protesters were predominantly peaceful. Violence didn't break out till the cops started shooting and tear gassing. They also like would leave abandoned cop cars just kind of like in the middle of crowds. And it was
Mhm.
just like, why are you putting those there? It's just,
Yeah.
what do you think's going to happen? I love some chaos and destruction, but I don't want to see any mom and pop business
Yeah.
burn,
Totally.
but also I understand the frustration of people of color and the systematic racism or systemic racism.
Yeah, I totally get that. I just want this year to fucking get over
Yeah,
with.
it's just I don't understand how people don't see it. It is just rampant. I guess I never had homies in the hood or whatever, but like
Yeah.
if you're in the hood, you get fucked with all day by the cops. It don't matter.
Yeah.
And I am lucky. I'm Hispanic, and
Half,
I'm
half,
half Mexican,
half.
but like a lot of my cousins and uncles and aunts aren't, and they get fucked with as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Like people, like it's just like I'm tired of people in denial. It's like, nah, it fucking exists. All right, guys. Like
Yeah.
my mom's side, they grew up in the projects in Harbor Cities in like the 40. Harbor City, it's South Bay,
Mm-hmm.
Harbor City, San Pedro. So it was they tried to whitenize themselves and Americanize because of they just didn't want to get harassed by citizens and police.
Yeah. Do
And
you?
nobody fucking believes it. And it's like, no, that doesn't happen. I'm like, yeah, it fucking does, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I've seen it. Do
yeah,
Do you agree with? Because like, there's sometimes where like on Facebook or some shit, there will be a video of a person getting pulled over, and then he's like recording it, which is totally fine. But then he like doesn't cooperate with the officer, and then like the officer gets upset. In my mind, I'm thinking, when I get pulled over, I know I'm not black or Hispanic or anything, but I just do what he says, and then he like gives me a warning and lets me go. I mean, do you kind of like?
yeah. I mean, not cooperating is not wise, but I only could imagine if I was constantly pulled over,
Right.
constantly harassed for nothing. I'm going to be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And enough is enough. And I'm gonna be like, fuck you, dude. I ain't doing shit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Everybody reaches their boiling point. Imagine being harassed 12 to 14 times, handcuffs, guns drawn on you. Malcolm X quote, like, America wonders why there's a chip on my shoulder. It's because your foot is on my throat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I've seen it happen, and anybody that denies that shit is full of shit. All the people that come at me on my Instagram, they're like, that's a false narrative. I'm sick of it. They're always white. They're always white. Hey, guess what? If you're white,
Yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know. I've never had any, have to deal with any of that.
And on top of that, there's plenty of footage on the internet that clearly shows, like,
Yeah.
okay, sure, maybe you should cooperate, and maybe that's bad, but also maybe the cop shouldn't murder you.
Yeah,
You know?
dude. I totally agree with you, man.
How about that?
Some of that shit's fucked up, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? It's crazy.
It's just like I'm part of the movement because it's just pretty simple. It's just like, hey, cops, maybe don't murder unarmed citizens,
Yeah.
period, especially people of color, because they're 3 times likely to get murdered, more likely to get murdered. And then also, if you do that, you're accountable and you have to pay. And then,
Yeah.
fucking justice. They get paid. They don't go to jail. It's like you killed the guy.
Well, I feel like they kind of made just like a little bit of progress lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they made this much fucking progress.
Just like a little bit, you know. All right, two more questions before I let you go. I asked. It's kind of like a tradition on my podcast. I asked Adam Ray, you know, Christian Finnegan. They gave me some of, you know, their story. It's do you have an embarrassing like sex story or something that happened? Like with Adam Ray, I asked him if he was in a three-way with Brad Williams, and then Brad accidentally jizzed in his eye, you know, or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah, embarrassing sex moment. Every single one of them. Hang on, I don't remember.
I know.
I don't. I mean, I've been farted on. That was embarrassing for them.
Yeah, that's the same with Christian Finnegan. That happened to him. That was when.
I mean, just coming too fast and being like, sorry, you know.
You know, that fucking sucks. And my answer always is like, it's been a while, or you're too hot. Sorry, you know.
I'm very lucky that's usually not the case, but it for sure has happened.
Yeah.
Whoopsie. Sorry about that.
Have you ever tried to like hide it and like keep going?
In high school, yeah, for sure. In high school, I remember doing that a bunch. Now I'm like, I'm done. I'm an old man. Like, I can't, you know, but in high school, for sure. I'd be like, nope, didn't happen. I'll just keep going.
All right, last one. I saw, I think it was a video you were saying you and your buddies made an app or came up with.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool. I need to plug it more. Okay, so this is amazing. It's for up-and-coming comics and famous fucks. We don't give a shit. But the whole point of this was my buddy I play dodgeball with, his brother-in-law, Andrew, is a app developer dude. And my buddy was searching for comics, up-and-comers footage. They did, for the job he was doing for a foundation, they did not want a famous guy, but they wanted somebody really good.
Okay.
So I gave him a big, long list of like 80 comics. I have them just, you know, for podcast recommendations. It's good to have a list of all the funny homies, you know, because you just forget. I forgot to list Abby Roberts and Ari Manis. That popped in my head as soon as I was done. I was like, oh, too late.
Yeah.
So you have a list. You have everybody who's right for the job. I sent him that list, and he's looking for footage. And he's like, dude, none of you guys have footage. And I was like, yeah, it's hard to get footage, etc. And then I was like, we don't get paid much, and a lot of times the clubs don't allow us to film, depending. And then he was like, I'm going to make an app that's subscription based, and then a third or more goes to the comics on the app. So they get paid every single month. And then, so it's supposed to be a third to the owners, a third to infrastructure, which is producing shows, taping specials, and producing shows where 100% of the door goes to the comics. Yeah. Like everything, because my buddy who's dodgeball, he's an artist too. And he's been, as most artists, in this period, you get fucked over, you get treated like shit, you get paid until you're Kevin Hart, and then you're like, give me money, you know? Yeah, dude. But it's back pay. People don't realize that. It's like back pay for being stepped on for 10 to 20 to 30 years. Anyways, he's an artist. He gets it. So like the comics are in complete control. You own your material. If you get a deal with anybody and you want it taken down, it's taken down. You want it back up, that deal's done, it's back up. Yeah. So when it's on the app, you're getting views, you get money.
What's the app called?
It's called Comedy Showcase Stand-Up Clips. Comedy Showcase app. And it's and anybody could be on it. You could submit footage, and then the comics on the app like curate it. It's comic curated. Mm-hmm. It's basically you just need decent video and audio. Don't be sending no flip phone footage. Yeah.
That would be like kind of like a cool like information thing, like you're saying, like, you know, because like my podcast, you know, I like it to be like a comedy podcast, you know, talk shit, make jokes or whatever. Yeah. So that'd be cool to like see up and comers and asking like I did with you, hey, you want to come do a podcast with me for a little bit, you know? Yeah,
and then all the comics get a profile, headshots, bio, links to all their social media, links to their podcasts. They get data and analytics to who is watching their material. So when the app does blow up, they'll be like, oh, okay, I could tour here and I could sell merch and tickets here, and they know where to go.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's not, famous dudes don't really need this. They already know where they can tour, but like up and comers, like we don't know. I got like, 6 dates. It's like, well, I want more than that. I want to go to more cities. Once I see the data, I'll be like, oh, I could go to Denver. I could sell a little theater there, a little 100-seater. And it's just to help the artist because, and it's behind a paywall and it's only an app. It's not.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so it's not even like you're really burning material, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Very weary of that. It's behind a paywall. It only is on the app, so they only can watch it on their phone or AirPlay it to the TV. And you own all rights to your material. There's no corporate conglomerate here. It's literally my buddy from Dodgeball put half of his life savings, which was $5,000, into it. This is a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
Mom and pop shit. It's just trying to.
Yeah, I think it's fucking cool, dude.
It is cool. It is cool. And like, we just need one Joe Rogan to be like, oh, this will pay a bunch of poor comics. Fuck yeah, I'll tweet it out. Shit.
Yeah, that's all you fucking. Have you ever thought of doing Cameo?
I've done it. Yeah.
Are you on there?
I've made like $300, and it's really weird that people pay me to do that.
There's like I've had I did one for my buddy. I had that guy Ricky Berwick. You know him? I hired him to do a cameo for my buddy, and he was hilarious. You know you know who I'm talking about?
No, but
he's. I think he's paraplegic or something. I don't know. It's really fine, but
yeah. No, yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm just trying to make a living out here. So fuck yeah, I'm on Cameo.
Oh, fuck, dude. All right, man. Well, I don't want to take more of your time, dude. I really appreciate you doing this with me. And, it was awesome. Fun talking to you.
I forgot to tell you. Did I bring up my gun?
No? You got a gun?
No, well, the whole reason I pushed it an hour is because I've been in the process to purchasing the firearm legally.
Yeah.
They text me, okay, your gun's finally in. I had to order it, and it took like a month. And then I said to myself, oh, I'll just go first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And I looked, and their stores closed on the weekends. I was like, oh, no. So I rushed over there to fill out the paperwork to start the process. You have to wait 10 days because of California. So that's why I pushed it 2 hours. I'm sorry.
No, dude, you're totally good. What'd you end up getting?
Glock 19, baby.
You did?
Yeah.
I just got a fucking Turkish fucking 9mm. I don't got no name brand shit.
That's okay. Something to protect you and your kitty cat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
When the zombie apocalypse happens,
Yeah, well, fucking.
The COVID apocalypse happens.
Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm just glad I didn't get it. I mean, I'm still, kind of leery of the whole. I mean, people have conspiracies and shit about it. I don't know.
This shit. It's easy to have a conspiracy. They have different information every other fucking day. It's just like, all right, who's running this shit?
But
get on the same page.
If I get to, I get to stay home from work and collect unemployment for 2 weeks, I'll fucking take it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I got to reapply. I don't know how. Anyways, they didn't give me my shit, dude. I was like, God damn it.
Did you get unemployment for?
I got to reapply and never went through.
No, this bastard.
I've just been slinging stickers, bro.
It was easy for me because I work at Boeing, so like I build commercial airplanes, like the interiors and stuff. So it was pretty easy since I have like that type of job where it's like, okay.
I was an independent contractor, and in the beginning I applied right away. And at that time they weren't approving that. And then later, of course, they did COVID-19 independent contractor relief because the world shut down. And now I have to reapply, and it's just an annoying process.
No.
But other than that, I've been doing stickers and people, not a lot, but people are like, can't believe you're touring. I'm like, are you going to buy me food, motherfucker? Because I don't really have an option right now.
Yeah.
Like, give me $4,000 and I won't go.
I mean,
Then I'm gonna fucking go, dude.
I think it's safe at this point, you know, if people wear masks or if they, I don't know, you know.
Well, the clubs I've been doing, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy, Minnesota and AZ, they only do 40% capacity.
Yeah.
You're required to wear a mask, and there's hand sanitizer everywhere. They do it as safe as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's spread out. It's not good for comedy, but it's good for a pandemic. So but
Yeah.
They're not dumb fucks. They're not doing, they're doing it right as you possibly can do it. Everyone's spread out completely. Like if they have a 400 capacity, they only let 150 people in, and you're required to wear a mask, and they spread everybody out like separate sections,
Yeah. I think that's how it was going to be when I was going to go see Brendan, but the club had to fucking shut down.
Yeah, I know. It's just we're fed up. It's like we want to just go outside and live life, and I want to go to the movies, man. You can't do that anymore.
Well, would you? Yeah, I guess you would, because I kind of like the thing where you can like pay $20 on Amazon and then watch it at home.
I mean, I hear you, but like if you want to go see a John Wick, you want to go to the theater. You want just it's. I don't want to watch John Wick on my 10-year-old TV that my neighbor gave to me.
Did you see the trailer for Bill and Ted's Adventure, the new one?
I did. I think Keanu looks weird without scruff, but I love him, and I will go see it for sure.
I'll go see it, but when he was talking, it reminded me so much of John Wick that I couldn't get it out of my head, Yeah. It's going to be weird, but I'm interested in it.
It's going to be weird, but Keanu's one of those dudes where I just am a fan, and it don't matter.
Yeah.
I'll always go. He's just the shit, man.
Well, shit, man. All right. Well, I'll let you go here, but I'll see you on fucking Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah, I'll see you Tuesday on the internet show. Thank you for having me, bro.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. And then I'll edit this shit, do like a preview clip, and then I'll tag you in if you want to share it. If you don't, it doesn't hurt my feelings,
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, tag me up, bro. Thank you.
All right, dude.
Thank you, brother. Peace.
Yeah.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really. Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? No! You're talking about shenanigans, right?